Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
He has time.
He's got him. Side touch is there. Leaping grab. Touchdown. Touchdown.
Perfection. Expect nothing else. Do you like to make yourself a hot cup of coffee to start your day? We have both whole bean and grounded. Also great for all you iced coffee if not a hot kind of person. Even make yourself a frappe to quench your thirst. The best tasting coffee with espresso. It's only $18.99 plus taxes for a 12-ounce bag. Buy 1 to 5 bags and shipping is only $7. If you spend over $100, shipping is absolutely free.
Hey, good morning, and welcome to Ken in the morning. The other Ken is off this morning, so Ken and Ken in the morning. Rob is on his way, running a little bit late, and of course, we're going to have some Monday Night Football. We've got our coffee QR code on the screen. You can get you some coffee as well. And we're going to be talking football here today. It's a Tuesday, and everyone seems to be running late like it's a Monday. But we had a Monday Night Football game last night, speaking of Mondays. And yeah, Atlanta, welcome to the party. Mr. I Can't Ever Win a Primetime Game Cousins actually showed up. And we've got Packer Rob here this morning now, joining us.
I didn't miss much. You got your commercial running, right?
Yeah. I just opened up. So I just walked into Monday Night Football, and Mr. Kirk Can't Win a Primetime Game Cousins actually won a game.
Yeah, he actually did. Got to give him props. Give him props. He did. It was a good game. I mean, he came back. I mean, they should have lost. Barkley dropped a easy touchdown.
Yeah, easy touchdowns.
Man, I mean, what did you pay that guy for? You know, there you go. He gave one away. He totally gave it away.
But I know some Bear fans are. Well, but look at Mooney. We should have kept him. I think. Yeah, well, it's like, I said it in the after he left, right? You just need a change of scenery. He needed to go somewhere new, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's going somewhere. You went somewhere new, got to change the scenery. That sometimes that's what's required. So, yeah, I'm happy for Darnell having a good game. Actually, I got caught up in a bunch of stuff last night here at the house, so I didn't get to watch much of the game. But yeah, Atlanta, welcome to the party. And another, there aren't that many 2-0 teams right now. A lot of parity in the league this year. A lot of teams that we thought were going to be good that ended up have one game.
Yeah.
So
like Baltimore. And
yeah,
who knows
Baltimore.
what Dallas is? One game they destroyed Cleveland, and the next game they get destroyed. Are the Saints for real? I mean, come on, man.
I think
these are serious questions.
I think that's my surprise. That's the one right now. I'm going, the whole Saints thing is what's really, because not like they just won 2 games, right? They've destroyed,
40 points,
dominated 2 franchises. Granted, one of them is Carolina, which hasn't shown the ability to beat a high school football team, let alone an NFL one lately. But then it just destroyed Dallas in Dallas, where Dallas doesn't lose.
Well, Green Bay put the blueprint out there. That's all. They put it out there.
The blueprint was last season, though. I mean, does the blueprint
Doesn't
really
matter.
last
They've
that
gotten
long?
worse. They haven't. What would they? What? Look at their ads. Zeke and fucking Dalvin Cook. What the fuck? Aging old ass running backs. I'm sorry, they didn't do nothing to help their.
I mean,
What's up, Big Rock?
What's up, Big Rock? But good morning, Big Rock. But defensively, you would think they would be better.
Yeah, I'm Micah Parsons is a force, but bro, we shut him down. We showed how to do it. How you handle that defensive line that was so dominant. I mean, I think Cleveland just sucks. I mean, with Deshaun Watson, they got all entirely different. They got injuries on the defense. I mean,
they end up, but Cleveland ends up winning.
Yeah, no, they had a turnaround game too. I don't know, bro. A lot of parity. That's why they call it the NFL. It's parity.
I'm just trying to think. It's like, was it, who did Cleveland beat? I forgot who they beat. Let me look that up.
It's just hard to tell, man. I know I missed like half my
They beat the
picks.
Jaguars. So I mean,
Yeah, the Jags.
the Jags aren't terrible. They're actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The Commanders Giants game was actually
Holy shit, he fractured his tibia? I didn't know that. Did you know that? Pacheco fractured.
No, I didn't see that.
Wow. So he's going to be done. He's going to be done for more than he might not. What? Maybe the end of the season he comes back. Maybe.
T.O. Remember when T.O. broke his leg? He made it back by the Super Bowl. But I'm trying to think when in the season he did it.
That's playoff time, so maybe.
Nope.
I mean, that's a big blow to them.
It was
Wow.
a short turn for T.O. But yeah, that's
It's time to go pick up. What's that kid's name? Steele. What's his first? With the alligator.
When did that news release? Because here's the thing, like I perused the headline. You know what I'm saying throughout the day. I didn't see that anywhere. I gotta start following every.
I look at them. I try to. Although this morning I'm very busy. I got a big job we're working on, and they needed my assistance. I'm sorry I was late.
6 to 8 weeks. Let's get off. That's important.
Like 6 to 8 weeks. Wow. Yeah, I mean that's what it takes when you get a cast, right? 6 to 8 weeks, you get a broken bone.
Yeah, I'm trying to when I fractured my wrist when I was young. Yeah, it was about 2 to 3 months. Yeah,
That's what I mean. Yeah, so I was saying
4 to 8, 4 to 8, depending on how bad it is. But yeah,
with the kind of training or the kind of physical therapies and help they got these days. Yeah, Steele, the rookie. Yeah, he's going to be awesome, bro. I might have to pick him up. He's going to be a hot waiver wire fantasy.
I mean, the cast. He'll probably have the cast for 4 weeks and then 2 weeks without the cast, and then the cast I think is only about 4 weeks, really, about a month with the cast, and then they'll take it off. And
no spanking for 2 months. That's tough. Fucking man hour. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Dude, man hour is just. Hey, man hour, you're in the Indy area. You going to the game this weekend? That's a question.
He's a hard runner. Yeah. No. I can't wait. Yeah. I'm excited to see. He reminds me of Mike Allstott. Remember Allstott? You get the ball, you just be a hard charger running up the middle.
Oh, I've got me an A-Train helmet here. Yeah, I'm Allstott.
Yeah.
That guy was different. He
the A-Train. That's right. The A-Train.
He didn't get enough credit when he was playing. You know what I mean? It's after he retired is when people started to realize, oh, look, it's
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are you doing? And look, it changed my name again. I forgot to go in here and do that before I hopped in.
Yeah, you got to remember to do that, bro.
No, when I hit
forgot
enter studio, it automatically does it.
He also forgot to turn a ticker off last night.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. At least he didn't leave lights on.
Mike told me. He goes, "These are things you got to look for."
Yeah,
he goes,
and I forgot that when you hit
tickers, he goes,
I didn't
tickers.
Right. I didn't use the guest link, so this time it didn't automatically come up with my guest name.
Oh yeah.
It came in with whoever opened the show this morning.
Good morning, Jason. How are you, bud? Go pack up.
Where are we at on the
Damn.
Where are we at on the topics?
We were talking about
Pacheco
the
going
injury
down.
to Pacheco. Pacheco,
Yeah.
they say he's got a fractured tibia. He's going to be out to six
6 to 8 weeks.
Then we talk
AJ
about
Brown went
Allstott.
down last night, and it's looking like it might be a 2 to 4 week thing. They're going to leave it on the weekly, not on the IR.
Who went down?
AJ Brown.
I thought he was out before the game. I thought
No,
he didn't play.
They tried to run him out, and he hurt it again at practice just before the
Okay.
game.
I was going to say he was a scratch. I don't think he played. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
think he played
but they were trying to see because they were leaving it as a game time decision. And while they were practicing just before Monday Night Football, they finally had to say, "Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
going."
the injury trees are piling up there, aren't they? I mean,
Yes, they are.
first 2
man.
weeks, we're used to this. We should be
Yep.
used to this. Should not be surprised. I tell you what, there's one guy I wish would get hurt. I hate to say that, but I wish he would get hurt so they could just give him a medical compensation and release him. That's Nate
Tua?
Davis.
Oh, Nate Davis.
No,
Oh,
Nate
okay.
Davis. So the plan, it's becoming apparent that when the Bears signed, God, I hate that on brain part names, Bates. They signed Bates. It was getting pretty clear that he was going to supplant, right, Davis as the starting right guard. Well, then he gets hurt. So then they bring him back during the game. He gets more snaps. The play is better. Then he gets hurt again. So he missed. Then it's like, and then he gets hurt again this week, and it's like, we got to find a way. So I'm like, Nate Davis is always hurt because he doesn't practice. He doesn't practice, and you can tell when he plays, he's okay for a minute, and then he starts looking like us. He starts tripping over feet, running into his own guys. Like, yeah.
The trash talk is flying.
Oh my
this
God.
morning.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we got shade on the Bears. We got
Everybody.
Rob in there shading everybody.
Yeah, that's okay. They're at the top. When you're in the league.
It's only 2 games, bro. You're only one
Right.
game ahead, everybody. You're bumping your chest, man. Relax.
But Man-Hour brings up something decent because DJ Moore is not acting like he's not happy right now.
DJ Moore's fine. They talked to him. I mean, they talked to him and Keenan. They're fine. The problem in Chicago, the actually bigger story, if you guys want to be throwing trash at the Bears, is this O-line story. Like, even the coaching staff is pissed off at the O-line right now. Like, the entire team is going to this O-line going, hey, guys, what in the actual are you doing? Why can't you do your job? And Nate, there's this thing called practice. Show up to it once in a while. That's the problem. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if Poles isn't perusing rosters right now, looking for practice squad guys that he could steal that would be better than Nate Davis.
What's up, broski?
I don't know if the problem is still right guard and center. I think they thought.
Good morning, Joe.
Hey, good morning, Joe. I think they thought they had addressed it with free agent signings and that, but the problem's this: those free agent signings got hurt. They're not playing. They didn't practice enough in the preseason either.
And
so, that's part of the situation. Like, the guy they brought in to be the right guard is now in the IR.
Oh, shit,
Bates is now in the IR. I mean.
Hey, I saw a thing last night on Facebook. Bill the Packer fan posted a thing
look at
that said that Tua,
and he's a Bears fan.
that said that Tua decided to retire. Is that I didn't? But I looked on ESPN. I didn't see confirmation of that.
Tua has not decided to retire yet.
Tua has his appointment next tomorrow with a neurologist to see if he can get an approval to play. He's trying to bypass the team doctors and the NFL doctors and get his own opinion. But if the NFL doctor says you're not good to play, you need to sit out a long period of time. 9 times out of 10, a medical doctor outside of it is going to back him up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Broski,
if the NFL doctor says you can't play,
to get
that
back
means
on
you're
the
Brandon
topic,
Cook.
to get back on the topic of Broski, I had the same kind of thought you did, to be honest with the coach. But if you look at this guy's track record as an O-line coach, it's actually pretty good overall. I think right now they're just dealing with a player personnel issue on the line. Rob says it's fixed, but you just need a whole new O-line. I don't think you need a new O-line, new head coach, new quarterback, staff, and the Bears will be a contender. Rob, look, this is what I love about Rob. Here's a guy who was all down on himself, thinking his team would be not that good. And we're all saying, "Hey, no, your team's gonna be decent. They're 2-0." Now he comes out like he's king of the world and his team is perfect.
Well, brother,
they still have Sam Darnold as quarterback. He's one ghost away from a complete meltdown.
We've all done it. When our team is leading the division, we talk our smack. We all do it as fans.
Yeah, we all do it. He's a homer.
We may be podcasters and we try to stay neutral and be that talking head on TV.
Be a homer, but yeah, Rob's homer.
You go homer when you can.
Rob is definitely homer now, but no, Broski, I think Rob is right at one point. It's fixable. It's just they need to figure out. Here's the problem: the right guard and center is creating issues with the left tackle, the left guard and the right tackle. In other words, these guys are having to cover or try to cover because they know that the guy next to them's not doing the job. So they're trying to make adjustments. Yeah, I know you get your jabs in while you can, Rob.
He's crippling.
These guys are trying. Okay, let me talk, guys, please. They're trying to, they're trying to cover down for the guy next to him who's sucking ass. And what that happens is they're trying to help their buddy, but in the process they're hurting themselves. They're still grading decent. Jenkins graded decent this week, but that's the problem: is right guard and center, and it's not a coaching issue. It's just these guys like Nate Davis doesn't practice. How do you coach a guy who's not practicing? That's a problem, Broski. He's like, if he's not practicing, okay, I can get him in the meeting room, have them all watch film and talk through it. But the guy's not practicing. He's not getting muscle memory. Practice creates muscle memory. Why do you think in the Army we do the things we do, like with the range and going to things we do? So it's muscle memory. If you ask any Medal of Honor recipient what they were thinking at the time that they did what they did, they'll all tell you the same thing. I don't even remember it. My muscle memory just took over and I acted. The problem is the Bears line has zero muscle memory right now. They have zero practice at the right guard and center position.
What have they been doing all summer?
Well, Nate Davis has been hurt.
I'm just saying, bro, you had all training camp, everything to get ready for all this.
Look, I agree.
Honestly, I think Poles didn't realize how bad the O-line was. Honestly, that's what I think.
I kind of think they thought they brought in the players that would fix it, I think. And then Bates gets hurt. So that just ruined their plan at right guard. I think the idea was Bates would be the starter and Davis would be gone.
Fucking Man-Hour is ripping this morning. Good Lord.
Broski Bear is too on his own team.
Eberflush. Holy shit. He really does not like Eberflus.
I like Eberflus.
We're going to have to schedule a fight.
I like Eberflus as the coach. His defense is the only reason the Bears are even relevant. But this
does Man-Hour have any Army training or any military training at all?
He sounds like a Donnie.
Man-Hour is fucking.
No. I was wondering because I was saying we need to schedule a fight. And if he doesn't have any training, then I'm going to go.
Wow.
And Broski's not wrong here. He goes, Nick Davis sucked last year, this offseason, and this season, and you are 100% correct, Broski. I think, right. And that's why they were hoping to replace him. Unfortunately, he's the right guard by default right now. That's just it. He is the right guard by default because there's no one else they've got to play it. I saw someone say yesterday, "Hey, why don't you move Tevin to right guard? But then who's going to be the left guard? It's the right guard. You move Tevin to right guard. Who's going to be the left guard? They need a new right guard, and they need a center. I don't know if they need a new center, but right now it looks like they do. Now, look, we got 3 games on the schedule that lend themselves to this offensive line maybe getting better. Let's see if that happens. But right now, there's no confidence. Yeah, man, you don't know what the hell you're talking about there. Not even close. He has no clue. But I mean, they need to fix that position, and you got to figure they're scouring practice squads right now to see if there's a offensive lineman that can pluck off someone's practice squad to replace Nate Davis. At this point,
on another note, are you concerned about the drops by Odunze? Like, he seems to have a few drops.
I was surprised
already.
he even played, bro. He had a same kind of injury as Jordan Love on his knee. I was surprised he even played.
Odunze did?
Yeah. He was like questionable going into the game. Like him and Allen both were questionable going into the game. And I really thought out of the 2, he was not going to start. But it ended up being Allen not even playing. So
good morning, Yoli.
Good morning,
Yoli. Good morning, Yoli.
Yeah, I think the Bears, they just need to play. I think at the start,
only 40% of the line.
I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, that's where the pressure's coming from right now. But I think most of it's just because the right guard is that bad. And
speaking from experience, when you have poor right and left guard play, you have poor tackle play. They go hand in hand. A good guard makes an average tackle better. It makes a good tackle great. It makes a great tackle elite. As soon as you get a good, decent interior O-line that plays better, the grades are better. It's just like Zietler was our highest rated left guard last week, so Sewell had a higher rating than Decker.
The tackles
and Ragnow was our lowest guys on the team.
So the tackles have been doing okay. So I mean, so I can't wait till we get a good guard, But yeah, I agree with you. JB. But our tackles are doing okay despite having a bad right guard. I think but it's definitely the Nate Davis effect is affecting the center and the right guard play, the right tackle play for sure. And they just need to try to fix that somehow, some way. They got to do it. That's where everyone's kind of upset in Chicago, and the passing game will work itself out. Passing game got better this last week. The release got quicker.
Morning, John.
Release.
Morning.
Even with that quick release,
you say your tackles did good last week, but Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter both had 1.5 sacks each from each side of that O-line.
Well, actually, yeah. No, well, I understand what you're saying, but they're like the week before they graded well. This last week, Tevin Jenkins graded good at the guard.
Broski's
tackle this week.
Everybody, holy
tackle
shit,
this week. Yeah, Braxton. Well, he hasn't Darnell Wright had a bad game. Actually, he was the worst between Wright and Jones this week. There, Broski. Jones has actually been pretty solid as a left tackle, but Wright gave up 2 sacks and a pressure or something like that. But I think a lot of that he's trying to compensate for the guard play being terrible, and that's effective.
Hey, so Ken, since you guys have your offensive line is not good and you have 3 good running backs, why don't you trade one of those good running backs to the Raiders?
So well, who are you going to give me?
Well, your whole line is trash. Who are you going to give up?
He's better than what you got.
Your whole line is trash.
Cody Whitehair.
I mean,
we just got rid of Cody Whitehair, but there's a lot. And there's a call. Actually, Joe, it's funny you should mention that because there's a call for Roshan Johnson to be on the field more. Like, why is Travis Homer out there? Roshan will truck some people, right? Roshan will truck a dude. Roshan has 0 carries on the season. He's only dressed for 1 game and seen nothing but special teams.
If somebody wanted to pay
in game 1, I don't know about
if somebody wanted to pay $25 million for 3 games, Bakhtiari is still out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
At this point, do you want to play right guard? You know what I mean?
Look at that. Broski's just calling it out.
So, here's the disparaging fact. While the tackles gave up 3 sacks, your interior O-line gave up 4.
We know. JB.
He said-
Thank you,
Okay.
Captain
He
Obvious.
said Braxton
No, I'm
Backfield
looking at
Jones.
the stats. That's why I'm able to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Hey
not
guys,
just
he even
talking
gave
shit.
Braxton Jones a nickname.
I know you did. I saw. I mean, look at
Backfield
Braxton
Braxton.
Backfield Jones.
But if you look at Braxton's PFF, yeah, but look at Broski's got. Look at the PFF grades for him all last season. He grades out in the green really well. I mean, I get it though. Guys don't like a player because of a game or two and it sticks. I'm not going to call Waldron Getsy 2.0 yet. 2 games in with no offensive line. I get it, Bears fans. Some of you guys like Broski are freaking the fuck out right now, going, "Oh my God, this sucks. It's the same thing over and over." No, it's not. Give it time. The offensive line is the problem right now. Let them try to address it. I think if they address the offensive line, you might be happier. If they can address the right guard issue specifically, I think the offense turns the corner. Lucky for us, we got the Colts this weekend, and their D-line isn't exactly stellar. So it might give this O-line a chance to rebound. And the schedule is favorable to this O-line. We also got the unlucky pleasure of getting 2 really good D-lines. 2 of the better D-lines in the AFC in week 1 and 2. We're now coming to a part of the season where the D-lines are not going to be as good, and that might give the O-line a chance to rebound. And let's see how they react before, we go around yelling that the streets are on fire and frogs are raining down from the sky and it's the end of time.
Also, Getsy actually, I thought his play calling in the second half was actually a lot better last week.
Bears fans, we get mad at him because he's a screen guy. Everything last year was a negative 2-yard screen.
Well, yeah, in the first half of the Ravens game, it was the same thing. It was like 1.5-yard passes, but in the second half, he really opened it up. He started throwing it down the field.
Broski's a legit football fan. Holy
and Broski, I watched the games too. I mean, but the PFF grades are good
Broski, you're a
because
good Bear
he
fan,
doesn't
man.
give up the sacks. He doesn't give up the pressures. Every lineman gets driven back some. It's not like these guys are brick walls. Mooney looked really good yesterday, John, but did I predict that? Oh, wait. Yeah, I did. Thank you, John, for proving once again how I'm right. I said Darnell Mooney would probably have a better season in Atlanta with a change of scenery and a change of mental mindset. And look, he did. Thank you, John, for once again proving how right I am.
So while you think that they don't have anybody on the Colts D-line, there's 2 guys, and especially at the interior O-line, you have to look out for. It's DeForest Buckner, and on the outside, it's Kwity Paye.
Yeah.
So
okay, JB.
No, but you just said they have no one.
They're not the Texans D-line. They are not Tennessee's D-line. It is a lesser D-line than what we have faced. Okay. I mean, really, if we want to talk about lines, let's talk about the Lions and let's talk about the losses. We haven't talked about their loss because you have found a way to obfuscate that and move us to different topics. Let's talk about the Lions losing.
I actually came in here waiting for you to ask.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk Lions.
Not doing anything again.
I know is Jared Goff still looks better than Caleb Williams.
How bad the Bears are. Let's talk about the same old.
He threw for twice as many yards last week than Caleb has in 2 games.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Oh, man.
You look like you're not living in glass houses.
I'm not living in a glass house. I said what happened to my team.
Here's 1-1 except for
Rob.
Whoa. Rob is the only one who can talk shit.
Wait, I said what happened to my team. I legit said it yesterday while we were here live on the air.
And I'm telling you what's happening with my team, but you seem to say, "Oh no, that's not right," because I have this weird dude. I know they have the
no. You said the Colts don't have a D-line.
You said no.
Wait, you're taking it as a personal attack. You took it as a personal attack when I gave a fact about another team. Wait a minute, I gave a fact about another team.
JB, they're a lesser D-line. It's a chance for this Bears O-line to get better. Yeah, every team has at least a good player or 2 on their line.
Buckner's pretty good, man.
Buckner used to be the really good.
He's still pretty good.
he's still
got
pretty
2.5
good. He's not
sacks
what
on
he
the
was.
season, and Quiddy Pay has 1.5. That's why I mentioned him.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're doing
every
pretty
team's
good.
every team's got a guy, but they're not as good as what we have faced at this point so far in the season. So it's a chance. Is all I'm saying. I'm not saying they suck, JB.
You just want to see some life in your offense, Ken? Is that what you're saying?
it's a line that they should be able to do better against than what they face. Like especially what they face the Texans. We might have one of the better. I wouldn't say. Well, I kind of like the Raiders D line a little bit more, but they have one of the better D lines in the AFC. Does Houston? So I mean, the Colts D line and Houston's D line, it's Houston. Indy. Now, if Indy runs all over the Bears O line, then we know the house is on fire in Chicago.
All right.
All right, JB. So now you asked me about the game, and I told you something Friday that did happen. I said DJ Reader being in this D line, even though Davenport was going to be out, Aiden Hutchinson would have a day. What happened?
Oh, he did have a day, and he still lost.
Reader to me is by far the most unsung hero of the D-line that no one's really talking about, because he sat there in 8 double teams every snap on the field. And in the first quarter, Hutchinson ended up with 3 sacks out of it. And we held that. Everybody said our defense was going to be last in the division, but yet we held the Bucs to 216 yards and 20 points. We should have been able to win with our offense if it had been proper play calling. And yes, we are throwing Ben Johnson under the bus. He's getting cute and calling plays not conducive to winning football. You cannot call twice as many passing plays as running plays with the third best rushing offense last year. That's awful.
Bro, even how you guys handled the overtime drive. That was, I mean, bro, why did you go steer away from that? That just didn't make no sense to me.
That's our biggest thing.
It made no sense to me.
I agree with Broski here that I think the Bears will create a lot of turnovers against Anthony Richardson.
The Bears secondary is legit, man. I watched it. They're legit.
Because why?
Every time in the Texans game, right? The fumble.
Okay. Manauer says they lost because they were 1-7 in the red zone. Why? We didn't run it. Houston was never on the field.
JB, I think you bring up a good point, though, not just about the lines, but it's overarching point, right? The Lions and the Bears.
170 yards.
The Lions and the Bears. The Lions and the Bears.
Broski.
Okay, we'll go.
We got to get Broski on the show.
Okay, we'll try it a 5th time. The Lions and the Bears both last year ran the ball a lot with success. Why have both teams gotten away from that? Why isn't Roschon Johnson, in the backfield in Chicago instead of? It's not like
instead of DeAndre 2 yards per carry Swift.
I mean, I get they're trying to. They made the money for Swift. They want
Johnson would have 2 yards per carry also because the offensive line can't run block.
It's the same
problem with the Raiders. The same problem with a few teams. Like if you can't run block, and your pass blocking isn't going to be very good either.
So Joe, though, here's my question: like DeAndre Swift, though, isn't known to be a physical truck, a defensive player type of rusher. Roschon is. So why
did they bring Swift in at all? Because I don't see the point. All he's doing is taking away from Roschon.
I kind of got why they do. He's elusive. He's a different type of runner. And like he's a different type of runner. He can catch the ball in the backfield. I mean, he's got some athleticism to him. Got it. But Roschon's more physical. Roschon's the most physical of the running backs we probably have in that room. Why the hell that's what you need at this point, right? Wouldn't you, if you're having a problem with your finesse runners, which is what everyone else on this team pretty much is, why are you trucking Homer out there when you've got this guy named Roschon Johnson who can run freaking people over? And wouldn't you think that if you got a running back who can run people over, truck them, hurt them, hit them, that might help your offensive line some? And with the Lions, you have a great 1-2 punch. You have a great 1-2 punch in Montgomery, like Roschon. Can truck a dude. Jameer is more of the finesse guy. Got it. They're a great 1-2 punch. Why aren't you running David Montgomery out there and hitting defenses in the head? And I get it, because your line isn't doing what. That's why you need that guy in there to kind of, I don't want to say make him honest, but
what's crazy?
I mean, I would at least be trying Roschon out. Your running game is non-existent right now. I mean, you guys are having problems on all sides on offense. At least try your third back and give him run him and see what he can bring you. I mean, maybe he's a spark that gets your offense going. I don't know, man. It's just
here's a theory. At it, broski. We actually said it on the air about the nut sack. We talked about that comment. But at the same time, Baker had 146 yards net passing. The secondary didn't beat up. Our offense failed.
Baker's nutsack got dragged across their secondary. I thought it was hilarious. But I think with Roschon Johnson, this is just a theory. Like, maybe they're sticking with Swift because they know that the holes aren't staying open long, so they need a guy who's quicker to get through them. And, like they figured Swift gives them a better chance because the offensive line can't keep the holes open very long. So, it's a plausible theory.
Physical guy, though, isn't that? I mean, and Broski, what was it?
You right, man.
Yeah, that Homer's one of Waldorf's favorites. That Herbert, I agree with Broski. I think Herbert and Roschon need to play more. And look, if you're gonna buy the $200 coffee maker, then at least get some veteran-owned coffee, right? Veteran-made coffee there. Get some Bear 6 Actual, put in that $200 coffee machine. But you know what, though? I think, though, there's some legitimacy to that. Is like they paid Goff so much. Hey, you're a top 5 quarterback. Right. You should be able to throw the ball. I don't know.
And we've all said, and that's including way back when we got Goff, if Goff has to throw 50 times a game, this team's in trouble. We said that immediately because we saw that when the run game disappeared with the Rams. I just think it's Ben Johnson is getting cute and trying to imitate the offensive genius that is Sean McVay and go with a pass-heavy offense and not use the run game. And we saw that didn't help Goff before, and it's not going to help Goff now.
Kevin says, could B teams are taking away the running game to make you beat them through the air? And if this were week 8 or 9, I'd say yes. But this being week 1 or 2, it's a new season, and they have abandoned the run. I think, though, it's a conscious decision to go pass or to change the run game because, everyone saw what we did last year, so we're going to do something different. Right. It's like, dude, keep doing what made you successful last year until teams prove they can stop it.
Exactly. And we abandoned it in the second half every time when we had a great first half. We'd have over 100 yards rushing and then go away from it in the third quarter with a lead. Teams come back, and then we got to fight to win again.
I mean, the Bears and the Lions both have good running back rooms. Some may even say great running back rooms with the talent they've amassed there. Why aren't they using them better?
Exactly.
I mean, in the Bears' case, I get the signing of Swift to a degree, and I think Swift will be an asset, but you need to still – this team is not – the way this line is playing, a finesse runner is not going to do it for you. You need a bruiser. You need a guy who's going to truck a dude.
I didn't understand it. I said it back in the offseason when you signed him that it was going to take away from Roschon or one of them, Herbert. You thought maybe they were moving on from Herbert.
Well, Mike and Woody think that more than I do. I think Herbert is he's a little bit of both. He can truck a dude, but he's probably a little bit more finesse. But I mean, why the hell is Travis Homer in there and ahead of Roschon? I mean, Travis Homer's had some good special teams play. Maybe that he's earned it that way. But I mean, Roschon's I think the better running back. Like, and the Lions actually they don't beating Gibbs is good, but Monty needs to be bruising that line, and so Gibbs can do what Gibbs does. And same in Chicago, Roschon needs to be beating up that line, so then you can use Swift.
Right, and I'm going to go right here. Monty only touched the ball 11 times last game. Gibbs 13. Monty was used in the one red zone when we scored. We went away from the run in the red zone. We were at the 9, the 8, and the 11 and didn't use the run game at all. We passed 3 downs. They were shutting down the pass. You have to run in that situation.
Did you read Man Hours? So what you're saying, JB, is that Ben Johnson would be perfect in Baltimore. They do the same thing with King Henry. He has 3 touches in the fourth quarter in 2 games.
We go back to the run in the fourth quarter usually, unless we're behind, is what I'm getting at.
Right.
Because that's what we did versus the Rams when they started to play catch up and they went ahead by a field goal. When you're down by more than a field goal, you're not going to run the ball. You're going to be trying to pass it. What I hated was passing plays that was called short of the sticks when you're trying to get in position for a touchdown. Why do a screen pass 5 yards behind the line that they've been breaking up all damn day? Why do a pass over the middle 3 to 5 yards out instead of making somebody beat them? We have a guy that can blow the top off of a safety zone, and you don't send him out on the fly route and make him earn that?
Like, I think, JB, you see it, I see it, some others see it. Do we think that maybe the Bears and Lions go back to that? Okay, we need to get the bone crushers in there to help the line out so we can start using these, to use Gibbs, use Swift better, because I know Chicago Bears Twitter has been blowing up with, why isn't Roschon playing? And I think it's a legitimate question. Even with the offensive line or the right guard sucking so bad, it might as well be me there because I'm old and broken. I'm probably better than Nate Davis, and I'm 100% disabled vet. I could probably, because look at me, I'm not that big of a guy. I probably would still do better. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, they got to fix it.
You would at least sacrifice your body to block instead of being a matador with the ball going, "Olé!"
I mean, I can't get any higher than 100% I already have, but goddamn, I'd try, right?
Ask him if he needs anything as he's passing by. You need coffee, tea?
Yeah, you need some coffee?
I do agree with Broski, though. I think that the Lions should feed Gibbs.
There was a great meme on Chicago Bears Twitter of a guy doing.
If you look,
and here's the Bears offensive line, and it was a meme of a guy opening a store door as customers walked in. Here's the Bears O line. Come on in. They need to get like Homer. I like Homer. Travis Homer is not a bad guy. I don't dislike him. He's actually not terrible. He's not bad. But I mean, Roschon is the guy you need right now. That's why there's a call for Roschon. I think Detroit run Monty more. Like, if you look at Chicago, why did Khalil Herbert become Khalil Herbert and a fan favorite? Because Monty was the guy who softened up defenses so then Khalil Herbert could do his thing, right? You need that guy who's going to soften up lines to let the other running backs who are more finesse do their thing. And I'm not saying Swift can't hit a guy. Swift can definitely hit a guy. But he doesn't hit a guy like Roschon Johnson does.
Okay, never mind.
Oh.
Well, no, I mean, they got physicality. Like, look at these guys. Jahmyr Gibbs can hit a guy, right? But he can't hit a guy like David Montgomery
But when you
does.
said Swift can, I was like, God, I've only remembered him going down prior to people hitting him because I remember against the Bears in the game we lost, you had a guy come up within 3 yards of him. He laid down, so he just had to touch him.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that too, but I've seen him actually try to hit a guy this season. But I mean, that's what I'm saying.
It didn't work much.
Hit a guy like Roschon.
I saw him hit the guy and bounce off onto the ground.
I mean,
I thought you guys were going to use Gibbs more in the passing game this year. I haven't seen that.
I was just going to say I would like to see them.
He actually had some targets last week. Let's see. He was in the slot twice. Gibbs had 7 catches last week.
Okay. Well, that's a lot for a running back. I mean,
that's using him in the passing game.
They are using
the problem
him.
is
so he's getting more pass plays than
7
run.
catches for how many yards though?
Well, due to the fact that 3 of them were screenplays that were negative 5 yards.
He 5 yards in the backfield. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Check down.
So he ended up with 22 yards after that. So if you think about it, that means he at one point had 37 positive yards.
Here's the question, guys. I mean,
that's still too little for That's still too little for seven passes, though.
He needs more.
Like they should, instead of hitting him
3
on
of them
like back,
were tackled 5 yards behind the line on screen passes.
I understand,
You know?
but what I'm saying is even 37 yards on 7 catches is pathetic. Like that's 5 yards. Like they should be throwing him. They should be throwing him like.
What I'm saying is 3 of those catches were negative 15 yards.
No, but what Joe is saying is why are they
4
doing
catches
negative?
was
Why are they
37
doing,
yards is what I'm getting at.
But
Oh,
JB, what
so
Joe
it would have been 52 yards.
No. 4 catches were 37 yards, but 3 catches were negative 15.
But, okay, so what he's saying though is
negative 15.
No, total. The 3
okay, guys,
were negative
the
15.
play calling,
Right.
the
So
play
37
calling
plus 15 is 52.
Oh my God,
So
we're doing
if
math.
he had, if
No,
those,
37 minus 15. They were 15 yards behind the line.
well,
Jesus. I said this.
No, I mean,
16
look at. I mean, I
times.
get what he's trying to say. I mean, I don't know why we're getting in the weeds on that, though. It's like, okay, got it. Stop doing the negative screen passes. Get them out more in open field. Let them catch and run in the open field. That's what he's saying. I get that, and that's what the Bears should be doing with Swift. But I think there's a problem here with play calling. Someone says something about play calling in the comments, and that's what I was going to try to get to before we started to get into a math problem. And there we go. But and here's the thing: we all watch a lot of football, right? We all watch a lot of football, and you know, obviously, defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators have watched a lot more football than we have. Why is it though? Why is it? And Rob, you know this is true. You and I can sit there and watch a game and go, "Oh, the Bears are going to do a screen pass right now, 3 yards behind." And sure as shit, here comes a screen pass 3 yards behind. That gets blown up. Oh, look, they're going to throw to Gibbs 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage on this one. It's going to happen. And sure enough, that's exactly. And we're just fans who watch games on TV. We're not watching game film. We're not in classrooms talking about game plans all weekend. If we know it, obviously these defensive coordinators know it, and it gets blown up. So why the hell, in these situations, are they doing exactly what even us sitting in our lazy boys on our couches at home know they're going to do? Like, can't these I mean, everyone, their brother, sister on the planet knows it's going to be a screen pass 3 yards deep to DJ Moore or to Jahmyr Gibbs or to player X, and yet these coordinators run it and the play gets snuffed, and everyone goes, geez, I wonder why that happened.
So
and Kevin,
let me explain what I was trying to say. Like he said that 4 catches went for 37 yards, and then the other 3 catches went for minus 15, right? So what I was saying is, if those catches don't go for negative yardage, let's say he gets no gain out of it, or even a couple of yards, like you got 52, let's say he gets a couple of yards, it's 60 yards, right? What my point was is instead of throwing screens, like why not run clear outs and run like wheel routes and stuff like that? Throw it ahead, throw it over the line of scrimmage, throw it, give him a pass that's 8 yards deep. And
Joe,
you know what I'm saying?
We said that. I mean, when you came off, though, we said that's what you were trying to do. Is why aren't they getting the ball out the field where it catch and run? That's, I mean, we get that, and that's why I brought up the
what I was trying to say.
Right, and that's why I said what I just said, because everyone knows these plays are coming. Why the hell are they running them when the guy's sitting at home with his beer, 6 beers in, and his remote control in his hand, thinking about changing the game, knows that play is coming? Why do they still call it? Why aren't they, doing something different? Because you watch the Bears, you watch the Lions this week. Everyone knew those plays were going to happen. Like the defense knew exactly what was going to happen because we knew what was going to happen sitting on our couches at home. And that comes to like, why are offensive coordinators running these plays that when they know those plays, and the answer is, well, because those plays work. Yes, when teams aren't expecting you to do it on some random down when it's not, when everyone knows it's going to happen, why do you still call it? It works. Not when everyone knows it's going to happen.
Situational awareness. If it didn't work the first 2 times in that situation, why call the same damn play in formation again?
Because they would think we would
what
do it again.
I was thinking is, like, look at how the Raiders use Brock Bowers, right? Like, Bowers is a tight end, but they line him up out wide, and they run routes where they have him like it's like it's not a dig, but it's where he goes out and it looks like he's going inside, but then he cuts outside.
I
And
understand what you're saying, Joe, but they did do that for the 4 plays that he had positive yardage.
Yeah.
He was lined up in the slot while Monty was in the backfield, or
That's what I'm saying.
Baki, or whoever else. They did do that. What I'm saying is, when he was at running back, they decided to run the exact same play that never worked 3 times in the game.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just don't understand like the whole screen game. Like where I think screens are way
It's
overrun.
because they
And
were.
like if the Raiders had a guy like Gibbs, I would be throwing him the ball like I would treat him like a receiver half the time, and I would have him lining up out wide. And you said they did do that, and that's good. I think they should do more of it.
Joe, Joe, the reason the screen game, because the screen game works. I mean, look how many times DJ Moore's gotten a screen pass and turned it to 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 yards. It works. The problem is this. It goes back to what we said just a few minutes ago. Situational awareness. They have none. And they're like, okay, if it didn't work twice to Gibbs, why run it a third time? Because maybe you think the coach is thinking, well, it didn't work the first 2 times. They wouldn't think we'd be stupid enough to do it. So they're just going to think it's a false read. But you thought that and still snuffed it out. I mean, there's a little bit of gamesmanship there. And I get that, like, hey, it didn't work the first 2 times. Because how many times have we seen where a play didn't work the first time or 2, a team ran it, and the 3rd or 4th time they ran it, it worked because the defense said, oh, there's no way. We snuffed it out the first 2 times. There's no way they're going to do that. So they're going to probably do it next, and they overthink it. But the problem is these defensive coordinators aren't thinking themselves out of a play. They're just, this is what you're doing.
I'm going to say the luckiest play the Lions called that worked was on 3rd and 22 when they did a halfback delay out of the shotgun with Jahmyr Gibbs. We are so lucky Gibbs is that talented he made it work.
Dude, that's not the best. The one that was the big one.
Where to go to, man? That's
I said it was the luckiest play that worked, not the best play. I'm talking about it was the luckiest play that worked.
Yeah.
It was lucky and it was brilliant. Because the fact that I mean, anytime you have a punter throw the ball, there's a lot of luck.
Yes, there is.
Where did Laporta go to? Where did Laporta disappear to? He's on my fantasy
like
league.
We said this offseason, and I said it may happen. Defenses have the film on Laporta. They're blanketing him. They're double covering him almost every play.
Mm-hmm.
He's a waste of a draft pick.
Yeah,
and
right.
Steven, I would not sit Caleb and throw Tyson in there while we're fixing the O-line. I'm not sold on firing the O-line coach as much as you are per se, but I think throwing Tyson in there, I mean, look, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, you're going to get Caleb possibly killed, and he might learn some bad habits. But if you take him out, you kind of ruin his psyche. And then, my God, the fan base and all the other bullshit that goes along with it, they're better off just letting Caleb play. Caleb did better this week. His numbers were up over week 1. He's going to still make rookie mistakes. Did he make a few rookie mistakes? Yes. That's to be expected.
Do you not think that Caleb is mature enough that if they told him, look, dude, we invested a number 1 draft pick in you. We're paying, we invested, like, you're the future, and we don't want you to get killed behind this shitty offensive line. So we're going to sit you for a couple weeks. You don't think he's mature enough to understand that?
Joe, I get what you're saying, but even if he understands that doesn't matter. To be honest, even if he understands it. I get what you're saying. I understand the rationale behind it, but here's a Chicago media average fan say, see, look, and John Dorns of the world, oh my God, they're benching him. He's a bum. He sucks, blah, 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 blah. And while, they don't don't watch social media, but they do. And it just psychologically, I think I could say I understand it, but psychologically it's still take a toll. And then when you're telling Tyson, oh, well, you're expendable. You know what I mean? No, I mean, let him play through it and let him look at. It's definitely trial by fire for Caleb right now because the offensive line isn't protecting. But we've seen improvement from week 1 to week 2. He's learning. It's actually not a bad thing in a weird way. It's really in one. There is a positive to take from him. And that's the learning. And as the O-line gets better, if the O-line Well, see, if the O-line can protect him this week against the Colts, I think a lot of these mistakes are gone because he's getting better with shitty O-line protection. You give him good O-line protection, I think the kid's gonna be pretty special.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate here. What if that doesn't happen? Like Caleb cannot continue to take the hits that he's taking and stay healthy, man.
JV.
Like he can't continue to get pummeled.
I get what you're saying, Joe, but there's not an NFL franchise out there who's going to sit their starting quarterback because the O-line is trash.
I get that, and
I mean that's
I disagree with the philosophy, but you know, my point is like he cannot continue to get pummeled, dude. He cannot continue to get pummeled, man.
Yeah, got it.
I think you should expect every team to throw everything at your offense.
Oh, yeah.
The defense is going to come. No matter how shitty their defensive line may be, they're going to come at you with everything.
Look, until they fix their offensive line issues, I fully expect that to happen. And there are ways they can
and if
fix
they can't get there with 4, they're going to send 5 or 6.
Yeah.
They're just going to keep sending until they, that's just how it's going to be for you guys. You guys are going to have to figure out sneaky ways to get around, the pass rushes. That's going to be on Caleb. He's going to learn how to be a good quarterback by escaping. What's going to happen here?
Here's the thing, and I don't disagree with what you're saying there, Kevin, because that could be the downside, right? That he gets in the bad habits and becomes like a run first, pass second kind of guy. I think that's where your coaching has to come into play. But I mean, it's almost like a damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Like you can get the Kevin experience if you don't, but then you could completely ruin them if you do psychologically. I mean, and that's a real thing. Look how long it took, Baker to rebound after the debacle with Cleveland. So I mean,
look at David Carr.
Yeah.
Look at David Carr. I mean, there's more than one comparison. They were both number 1 overall picks. They were both considered like the best quarterbacks. Like David Carr, people kind of laugh at David Carr now and they act like he was always a bum. But when he was drafted, like there was a lot of hype behind him. People thought he was going to be like an awesome quarterback, and he just got killed. And he ended up being never what he was gonna, be.
The Bears can help him. I think with they need to change their running style, and they need to get, like I said, they need to go more to Roschon. Let Roschon beat that lineup. Let Roschon hit that line and hit it. Let Roschon do that. Run the ball to the right. Give the right guard a little help. Start running the ball. Let Roschon get some success by running guys over, and that opens up, I think, the passing game a little bit. It lets him use Cole Kmet not as a blocker but as a pass catcher. It lets him use Swift as a pass catcher or, to do his style of run. If you can't get the offensive line personnel fixed, there's some other things you can do. And the Bears haven't done that yet, and they need to. And I think the Lions are in the same boat to a certain degree. Like, they need to use David Montgomery more so that they can utilize Gibbs better. And I think the Bears is the same situation. You got to utilize Roschon. Let him beat up the line. Let him be another big guy out there who can hit people and even pass block if you need be, right? And help that line out. That'll help Caleb kind of stay healthy. I mean, Caleb's been lucky. He hasn't taken any big hits yet, really. He's taken some sacks, but he hasn't taken any of those hits. Not that I can remember. But I agree. So I'm kind of where Kevin is, but I'm kind of not where Kevin is. I think there's some things they can do to help. Let's see if the Bears can maybe start doing that this week, if they can figure that out. And same for the Lions. Green Bay could do a little bit of that too. Green Bay, I think, did already. And they were smart. Look how they used Josh Jacobs this week to help protect their quarterback. They learned that the Bears need to learn that lesson. The Lions need to learn that lesson. And Minnesota just needs to hope the wheels don't fall off. They can continue doing what they're doing, and Sam Darnold doesn't see a ghost. That's kind of where we're at right now after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So on that terrible take, we're out of time.
Yeah, We're at the end of the show.
We're at the end of it. So, yeah. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.
Go Pack Go.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports.